Hello and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new then welcome. Today's video is going to be a monthly favourites video for the month of February, and included in this video is some of my Slimming World favourites as well as some of my non-Slimming World related favourites for the month. So I've got a few makeup bits in there as well, but I will start off with the Slimming World favourites because I know a lot of you are on Slimming World and you might not be interested in the makeup favourites, so I'm going to leave them until the end. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going to start off with these first because they might melt otherwise, and that is the Oreo Ice Cream Sandwiches. I'm a big lover of Oreos, but I'm pretty sure that an Oreo biscuit on its own is about 2.5 syns. I could be lying. I think it's about 2.5 syns. Anyway, it's quite, you know, for a biscuit, it's pretty standard syns. But I discovered these, and basically it's like an ice cream sandwich that tastes exactly like Oreo, except they are a lot bigger than an Oreo biscuit. And basically it's like the Oreo biscuit filled with Oreo ice cream. But yeah, these are 5.5 syns for the ice cream sandwich. So, you know, it's not too bad. It's within your syn allowance if you wanted something ice creamy. And if you like Oreo biscuits like me, you can either have 2 biscuits or you can have one of these ice cream sandwiches, and it will sort of fulfill your hankering for Oreo. So I really like these, and they were on offer in Asda when I picked them up. So whether they're still on offer, you'd have to check it out, but I'd imagine it's one of those things that they'll put on offer every now and then anyway, and I'm pretty sure you can get them in most major supermarkets. Next on the list is the new Mayflower Southern Style Gravy, and this is like a dupe for KFC gravy. So if you're like me and you love KFC, and every time you go KFC you have to get a pot of gravy, this is a really good alternative. It doesn't taste exactly the same. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to you that it is exactly the same as KFC gravy when it's not, but it is a good alternative, and it is 3.5 syns when made up as directed, and it is really tasty. Like I said, it's not exactly the same as KFC gravy. Some people have said, oh, it tastes exactly the same. I don't think it does, but it does taste good. It's really good. You can make it with Slimming World chips. It'll be good for fakeaways and things like that. And I think for 3.5 syns, if that's all you're going to be sinning in your meal, if you just want a big bowl of chips and gravy, yes, I know that's no speed food, but it's better than going to a takeaway. So this is one of my favourites for the month as well. Another one that I have mentioned before in my other low syn snacks video is the Sunbites popcorn, and in that video I included the multi-pack. This one I've included just the sweet and salty because that is my favourite popcorn. I love sweet and salty mixed together, and these bags are only 2.5 syns per bag, so I love them. I wouldn't feel guilty for eating 2 bags at a time when a normal bag of crisps is like 5 syns, 5 to 6 actually. So you could have 2 bags of this for the equivalent of like 1 bag of Walker's crisps, and you'd still have a syn left over. Obviously you don't have to eat 2 bags at a time. You can just have the 1 bag and leave it at your 2.5 syns, and then have it with something else, have with some fruit or whatever you want to snack with. But these are really good if you are like me and you love to eat crisps and you like the kind of crunchy texture of crisps, that's what you crave, then these are really good to get that kind of craving out of your system. So yeah, really love these. 2.5 syns per bag, sweet and salty. They also do a salty one on their own, which is 2.5 syns, and then there's like a caramel one which is more, I'm not sure if it's like 4 syns. If I can find out, then I'll leave that down below anyway. But yeah, these ones are my fave. Another one that I've been loving this month, and that is the Cadbury Highlights Fudge Hot Chocolate. A lot of you probably use the options hot chocolate, but this is just the same syn value. It's 2 syns, and I love the fudge flavour. I just love fudge basically. So yeah, this one made up as directed is 2 syns. Good alternative for eating a chocolate bar. If you just want to get that chocolate craving out of your system, then these are really good, and it just tastes so good. It tastes like a fudge bar but in drink form. It's so good. I mean, this one is basically, this is like empty, Jack has been helping himself to this as well. And I've also got, I've not got it with me here while I'm filming, but I've also got the Options salted caramel hot chocolate, and I'm not sure what the syn value is on that, but I know that this is 2 syns, and it's so good. So good, especially if you like fudge bars. And then, not a food favourite, but a favourite nonetheless, is this water bottle that I picked up from Primark for only £3. And if, like me, you struggle trying to drink anything other than fizzy drinks, or if you just struggle trying to up your water intake, then I found this really good. I don't know if it was just like the novelty of it, but it's one of those ones that's got like the little straw, so you drink through the straw, and it's got the little mermaid on it, and I just loved it, and I thought for £3 this would be really good. And I've actually found there's been days where I've drunk like 3 or 4 of these, which is like unheard of for me. So yeah, I found this really good for upping my water intake. And I know a lot of people use bottles like Hydrate Mate and things like that, but this was only £3 in Primark. Not that there's anything wrong with the Hydrate Mate bottles, I really want one, because they have the time down the side of the bottle, so you know you need to drink this much by 8, this much by 10, this much by 12, blah blah blah. But this I just thought was good for the novelty, because it's Disney and it's pink and I love it, and I've actually noticed that I've been drinking more since I bought this. So yeah, this is another, this is another favourite of mine for this month just gone. And my camera battery is flashing, so I need to change my battery. Okay, so moving on to some non-Slimming World related favourites. And first up I have the Clinique Stay Matte Universal Blotting Powder. And I actually bought this around Boxing Day. And basically it's like a translucent powder. Oh, if I can get it out. And as you can see, I have been loving it because I'm touching pan on it already. And I like it because I find that because I am so fair skinned, if I use a powder that is even light shade powder, I find that it shows up really blotchy on my skin. It looks very cakey on top of foundation, but because I do have quite oily skin, I need something to help me combat that. So I found this powder was really, really good. It just goes on, it's so fine, you barely even notice it, but it really sets your makeup in place. And like I said, I have oily skin and I'm very fair skinned, and I found that this was so much better than using a powder that comes in some sort of light shade, because I find they're never light enough for my skin tone. So yeah, this is really good, and I'm, as I said, touching pan on it, so I am going to need to get a new one soon. But yeah, that's been a favourite. Next up I have the Essence Light Up Your Face Luminizer palette, and specifically I have been using this middle shade here, and that is the, what shade is that? Okay, so the middle one I'm assuming is the rose shade, and it's got like a pinky tone to it. I haven't actually used the other two, but this one, again, I'm nearly touching pan on, because I've been using it every day since I got it, and I got it in a glossy box. I want to say the December glossy box, I'm not sure. But anyway, I love it. It's a really pretty, pinky, sheeny, nice highlight. It's good for my skin. Like I said, I've got pale skin, so I find that this one isn't too dark, whereas I'm worried that these ones might come up a bit dark on my skin tone. I'll have to try them out, but I find the pinky one goes really well with my complexion, gives a really nice highlight. I look very glowy throughout the day, because I do use the powder to get rid of any oiliness. To get rid of any oiliness, I don't want to take away like the glow from my skin altogether, so I find that I have to really settle down the oil in my skin and then add any glow back onto my face. So this has been really good. I have been using it, like I said, every day, and I just love it. It's a really pretty highlight, and I would definitely recommend. And as you all know, I am in my second trimester of my pregnancy, and if I'm not at work, if I'm not going anywhere, then I tend to sit around in the comfiest clothes that I can find. And I found some loungewear in Primark, and basically I've been loving it. I'll insert a clip of me wearing the loungewear so you can see what it looks like on. Okay, so this is the Primark loungewear that I picked up, and it is so comfy. It fits right over the bump, so it's nice and loose. I do have a vest top on underneath because my mum's coming around later and I didn't want to flash everything. But yeah, I think they look really nice. They're so comfortable. The fabric's really soft. I got this in a medium because obviously I'm anticipating that my belly is going to get bigger. But this is just so comfortable and really easy to just wear around the house. Like today I'm not going anywhere, so I've had a bath, just chucked my hair up on top of my head, as you can see, no makeup, and then I'm just going to chill in this all day. So I feel a bit better than just sitting in my pajamas all day because that would make me feel really lazy. So I feel a bit more put together, but definitely very comfy and casual. And this, as I said, was from Primark, and I think it's about the same cost as their pajamas. I can't remember exactly how much it was, but if I go to Primark again before I upload this, I'll try to find out the price and I'll link it down below. But from what I remember, it wasn't very expensive at all. So yeah, I've been loving those and I'm probably going to go back and get some more. I did get those in a medium because obviously I'm pregnant, and they fit really nicely. They're really like just comfy basically. So yeah, I've been loving loungewear. And lastly is this Irradiance Bomb from Botanics, which you can get in Boots. And I have been using this as like a primer for my skin. Since being pregnant, I found that my skin, although it's oily still in some places, is quite dry in others. And I've been using this every day as a primer, and I found that my foundation has gone on so nicely on top of it. And it leaves you with that little glow as well. Like I said, because of my oily skin, I have to use quite a lot of powder just so that my makeup doesn't slide off my face throughout the day. But I've found that using this underneath my foundation and underneath the powder, I still have a little bit of a glow, and my makeup has been staying on my face really nicely while using this. And it has like a really nice scent as well. I don't know, it just smells really fresh and I've really enjoyed using it. It looks like it's tinted, but honestly when you put it on your skin, there's no tint there whatsoever. It just goes on and you look the same colour as you did beforehand. But it does give you that little bit of a glow, that little bit of radiance as it says. But yeah, this has been really, really nice, and again, it's one that I've been using every day before I put my makeup on. I love it, and I would definitely recommend, if you have skin like mine where you find it can get a bit dull when you do your makeup, so you don't want to lose that dull. If you find it's dry in patches, this has been really good. I suffer from acne as well, and I found that it hasn't affected my skin in that sense. It's not given me any breakouts, which I find can be risky with primers. Some primers I find really do cause my skin to break out more, like they clog my pores, whereas this hasn't done that. This has just sat on my skin really nicely. It's felt so lovely putting it on every day, and I'm not a makeup artist by any means. I mean, look at me. I wouldn't be able to advise you on how to do your makeup, but this I've loved using before I've done my own. So yeah, definitely would recommend. So that's it for my monthly favourites. I hope you enjoy. If you do like this kind of video, then please give me a thumbs up and leave any comments down below or any questions. I'll try to link anything that I can and put sin values of things and all that malarkey in the description box down below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on future videos, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!